Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Saturday, September 26th, 2020, and you may have noticed something from my most recent videos. Or rather, you haven't noticed something. Fish. Fish catching has been not so great for the past month plus. So I came down here to the Raritan River in hopes of finding some wolf-pack smallmouth bass. Normally this time of year, these fish start ganging up on poor defenseless bait fish in preparation for the fall feeding. So I'm hoping to capitalize on that today, and I have a wide range of lures that I'm going to try today. I'm going to start out by throwing around the Whopper Plopper because I want to gauge how aggressive these fish are. And if they're not that aggressive, I've got some other stuff, some more subtle presentations. And yes, if needed, I will use the Wacky Rig Senko. Because today, I am not too proud to do just about anything to get some bites. It has been very dry around here the past several weeks. So this river is a lot lower than it normally is. Just to give you an idea, that pipe right out there is normally about 3/4 underwater, and now it is completely out. So we've got very low and very clear water as well. In the past, that has made for a tough bite. But I'm hoping the conditions will be mitigated by the fact that these fish should be beginning to feed in earnest on account of the falling water temperatures. Well guys, no action at all on the top water, so I guess you could say that's strike one. So I'm going to work back up through this hole using a Kitech swim bait on a 1/16 ounce jig head. Hopefully a bait fish imitation will entice something to bite. After all, these fish should be feeding on bait fish pretty heavily right now. Oh, there goes a blue heron. Hope he has good luck fishing today. He's got a bit more riding on it than I do. Alright guys, no luck on the swim bait, so there's strike two. So now I am going to bounce this tube jig along the bottom. Water should not be so cold that the crayfish aren't moving around anymore. And if these fish aren't feeding on bait fish, maybe they're still keyed in on crayfish. Well, the tube jig got ignored, so there's strike three, which means I'm out of here, and I'm going to be looking for a new place to fish. So sit tight, and I will see you in a couple of seconds. Okay guys, here we are at the next spot, and I've made a switch back to the swim bait, although it's a different color. This is a lure that I really have a lot of confidence in, and whenever the bite seems to be tough, I'll tie it on, and I'll normally have pretty good results with it. So, given that I haven't gotten a sniff yet today, I figured I'd stick with this for a little bit. There's a line of debris out there. You can see this foam line. There's just all sorts of sticks and weeds that are just swirling around out there. Bringing it through there without hanging up on anything is, well, it's probably not going to happen. But I'll just have to grin and bear it and hope that I get bit before I make it to that debris line. Not gonna lie guys, I'm starting to get that sinking feeling again. I fished this river long enough to know that if the bite was really on, I'd have gotten something by now. So, could wind up being a grind today. But I'm gonna keep at it. I've got nothing else planned for today, so might as well keep fishing. All right, everyone. It is time. The Raritan River Special rides again. When all else fails, this will usually work. And all else is indeed failing. Well guys, not even the mighty rainbow trout colored CD7 Rapala appears to be working here today. But before I bail on this spot, there is one more thing I want to try. Sometimes I've seen smallmouths that are schooling pretty much right at the lip of these falls here. So I tied on a swim bait on a 1/4 ounce jig head, and I'm just gonna work this wall along here, and I'm gonna see if that's where the smallmouths are schooling today. Well guys, nothing doing on that strategy, so that means I have struck out at another spot. So I'm gonna regroup right now. Frankly, I'm a little bit flummoxed. I mean, I know I have options, but I just don't know what to do at the moment. So I'm gonna head back to the car, take a minute to think about it, and I will see you at the next spot, whatever that may be. All right, everybody, here we are at spot number 3. It should look pretty familiar to you guys by now. And I decided to come here because this year, this is the only spot on this river that has really produced somewhat consistently for me. And even with that being said, this place has been far from a sure thing. I've had days where I've struggled at this place too. But it's really all I've got to go on at this point. I've already hit the 2 spots that I had the most confidence in today, the 2 spots where I was fairly certain I could get something going, and those didn't pan out. So now I'm stuck chasing history. And I'm gonna start chasing that history with the Ned Rig. Just gonna skip right to the finesse tactics. I don't know, we'll see. Just gonna try to do whatever I can to get something going right now. Oh, well. That's encouraging. Been fishing here for about 5 seconds. There we go. Oh, he popped off. Wow, okay. Well, you know what? At least I'm getting bites. I'm liking the early returns on the Ned Rig. Oh, wow. This guy was so close in, I thought there's no way he had it in his mouth. I thought it was a rock or something. But no, he was like 5-6 feet away from me. And that's first fish of the day. Not huge, but healthy, chunky. I'll take it. Woo! All right. Boy, after the stretch I've had, that might as well have been a 5-pounder. There we go. Whew, man, this one's really pulling. All right, there we go. Not a bad fish. This is an upgrade from that last one. That's all right. If they keep getting a little bit bigger, I might be able to put a nice catch together. Ah, man. I was trying to get a smallmouth that I saw cruising over here, but don't get too excited. I was trying to catch a bigger one. Yeah, this guy grabbed it before the smallmouth could, but I don't know. I don't think he's spooked, so maybe he'll hit. There we go. Oh, there you go, another sunfish. Trying to thread the needle on these guys, getting it to the smallmouths, but looks like these guys are on the feed for the fall too. Well guys, I was very downtrodden earlier when I struck out at those first two spots. But after getting a couple of smallies and even a couple of sunfish, I'm feeling a lot better. Re-energized with renewed confidence. It's amazing how much your mood improves after you catch a few fish. Not just during a day of fishing, but in life in general. Huh, now this is very interesting. Since the fish were biting on the Ned Rig in that first run, I was confident that they'd be biting it in this one too. But so far, nothing. Alright guys, so I clipped off the Ned Rig. I might go back to it later, but for right now, I want to try hucking around the tube jig again. Looks like with the Ned Rig, that showed me that the bottom bouncing presentation appears to be working. And maybe this larger profile bait will attract some larger fish to bite. Well, nothing on the tube, which is very interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is I switch back to the Ned Rig, and I am going to go back through the stretch that I just fished with the tube. And if I get anything, that's pretty much going to tell me that the fish are super keyed in on the Ned Rig, and I really shouldn't be using anything else today. There we go. All right, looks like it's Ned Rig for the rest of the day. That pretty much puts a bow on it. Thank you for showing me the way, young smallmouth. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a smallmouth. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. There we go. Jeez. How did he get that in his mouth? That wasn't a smallmouth, that was a micro mouth. Oh, wow. That guy was on as soon as I started reeling. Oh, he's not bad either. That looks like a solid fish. Not a giant, but definitely fish of the day so far. Ooh, easy, easy, easy. Oh, I saw that he was barely hooked. I was just gonna say, he's barely hooked. I need to get this guy in the net. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Ned Rig is definitely the answer today. Well, it finally happened. Broke the Ned Rig off on a snag, so had to tie on a fresh one. Can't afford to lose too many more. I don't have a ton of those mushroom head jigs, mainly because they're so damn expensive. I don't know how they can get away with charging the amount of money they do for those things. Come on, Z-Man, it's lead on a hook. Stop charging like it's fucking pearl earrings. Well, I just lost another Ned Rig, so tied on a new one, and it looks like I'm gonna have to take out a third mortgage and buy some more Z-Man shrooms with a Z. Very important, you don't forget the Z where it doesn't belong. Is that what I'm paying for, Z-Man? I hope I'm paying for spelling lessons for your marketing department, because they're sticking letters where they don't belong. Adding Z's everywhere. Hey, 1993 called. They want their ad campaign back. There we go, fish on. He's not very big, but it's a fish. That's the thing about the Ned Rig. It might get you a lot of bites, but it's gonna get you a lot of small bites. Then again, I am in no position to complain, given my recent track record. There we go. All right, this one's a little bit better. Oh, frickin' came off. I've been losing all the decent fish today, but at least I'm hooking up. Can't really complain about that. Well, the sun is just about down, so I am going to head on home. It was a really slow start to the day. In fact, I was worried that it wouldn't get started at all, and I'd wind up with another short, crappy, fishless video. But I came here to one of my go-to spots, tried a technique that has worked for me here in the past, and wouldn't you know it, I was actually able to catch some fish today. And I proved to myself that no, I have not in fact forgotten how to catch fish. And I also pretty much destroyed any chance of ever getting sponsored by Z-Man. But I'm catching fish again, and that is the most important thing. So, thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.